What? Hey, what's going on here anyway? What is this? What?
Ladies and gentlemen, the original man in black, Mr. Dan Akroyd.
Yeah!
Yes!
Wait a minute, wait. Hey, I was going that way. What?
Get yourself up here, man.
Oh.
You crashed into the wrong place.
I'm sorry for wrecking your wall, but...
You will be.
Oh.
You will be.
How are you?
I'm Luke.
Nice Good to see you.
As you can see.
All right, rock on, gentlemen.
On, man.
I've been downhearted, baby. Ever since the day we met. Our love is nothing but the blues. Baby, how blue can you get?
Suits real neat and everything, Elwood, but do I really have to wear the hat?
These are unsophisticated men. The only things they respond to are fear and the draw of lucre. We elicit this by using iconographic symbols and psychological intimidation.
So, Dan, I think Tim has the first question for you.
Indeed. Right. Blues Brothers, huge success worldwide. How did it all begin?
Well, it started with John Belushi and I meeting up in Toronto, Canada in 1974. He came up there. He had a radio show called National Lampoon Radio Show, you know, National Lampoon magazine. And he had a radio show, and he wanted to recruit me in that. He wanted me to join, and I said no. But that night, we had a little party, and we played some blues records. And he said, "What's this stuff?" I said, "Well, John, this is from, this is blues. You're from Chicago. You should know the blues." And he said, "No, I'm into grand funk. I'm into heavy metal. I'm into Led Zeppelin. I don't know about the blues." I said, "Well, grand funk and Led Zeppelin, they would tell you that all the music they're playing really comes from the blues." So he went away and he began to research blues, and we started to work on the act. And the first time we ever appeared on stage was with Willie Nelson at the Lone Star Cafe in 1977, and we walked out in the suits and the glasses and the hats, and we had a great reaction from the audience, and from then we knew we really had something.
Yeah.
So, did you get onto Saturday Night Live on the strength of the Blues Brothers gimmick?
No, we were on the show. We were hired as actor, performer, writers on the show prior to that. We actually brought the Blues Brothers to them after we had been hired. Yeah.
Excellent. Tim?
Blues Brothers 2000. How difficult was it to make this film without John Belushi?
Well, obviously, I never thought I'd ever do the Blues Brothers act again when John died, and that was a very painful part of my life. But when I started to play with the band again, after we started the House of Blues company, the nightclubs and that, I brought his brother Jimmy in to play. I brought John Goodman, and we started to play together, and the three of us were out there out front, and the music sounded great. People were reacting wonderfully to it, and then I started to think, well, maybe there is another story to be told here if we treat John's memory in a tasteful way. And I think we do in the movie. You might not have seen it yet, but...
Yeah.
Seen it.
Oh, have you? Yeah, we...
Excellent.
Oh. Well, thank you. I think we treat John's memory in a tasteful way, and that enabled us all to kind of move forward with the concept.
Yeah.
Were you inclined maybe to use his brother, Jimmy Belushi?
I did want him in the movie. In fact, I was very upset that Jimmy couldn't do it. He had a prior commitment to a television show, and I begged him. I said, "What are you doing? A TV show? You're going to be the Blues Brothers. Get out of there."
Yeah.
He couldn't get out. He had a commitment. He had a contract, and it's important, to fulfill your obligations and contracts. So we forgave him, and we were able to get a terrific actor named Joe Morton, the black actor in the show, and he's just a terrific. Incredible Broadway singer and dancer, and so, it didn't work out for Jimmy to be in this one, but if there's another one, I want him there.
So, John Goodman, how did he get involved with the project?
Well, he called me, and I called him basically on the same day. I called him to say, come on down, help us with this House of Blues club that we're opening. We want you to be in the band. And he said, well, I heard there's a new movie and that it's all being sort of revived. And so I called him, and he called me on the same day, and we sort of shook hands and agreed that he should be in the act.
feel all right.
I'm happy with it. I think it's a good companion piece to the first. I think that, you know, in 10 years you'll look at the videotape racks in people's houses and there'll be the first one there and the second one right next to it.
The last time they played anywhere, they were charged with grand larceny, felonious motor vehicle assault, and damages in excess of $20 million, and you are asking me if I want to join this band?
In the new film, you've created a whole new blues family. Is there anything more for them in the new film, maybe?
Well, you mean, you think we're going to do, do you think?
Are you going to do
Another one? Perhaps, sure. I mean, it all depends on economics. It's all based on business, guys. I mean, we'll see what happens here in the United Kingdom and throughout Europe if the movie's a success and if the videotapes are a success. And once all the tally is in, if they want us to make another one, I'm here to write it.
Yeah.
It's good to have fans.
So, talking of fans, is the Blues Brothers, are you most recognised for the Blues Brothers? You've done so many great films, but is that still the character that you always famous for, do you think?
Well, when I wear the hat and the glasses, they recognize me. I guess it's that and Ghostbusters, that people know me most from.
Ghostbusters!
Yeah, that's the one people, those are the ones people know the most, you know. I guess the ones that got the most exposure around the world, and so.
So you've done music and films, and you've started off as an actor, really. So a lot of actors have found it very hard to cross over to music. We've had classic examples from people from Star Trek, like Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner, who've done completely disastrous things. You managed to do it quite successfully. How did you manage that?
Well, I sometimes wonder myself. You know, I wrote the part of Elwood as a writer writing a part of a musician, and so I wrote the part of a musician, and I had to be a musician, and I had to act like a musician, and I had to learn to sing, and I had to perfect the harmonica. So I think it was just a matter of applying whatever skills I had, but also dedication and that, but also the music, you know, the type of music that we chose to do. I mean, blues is really a lot of fun to sing and play, and it's fairly simple to sing and play. You don't really have to be, you know, that musically educated to play it. So I think it's very accessible. It's full of humor and irony and fun and laughter, and that's what makes it easy to be a part of.
So, going back to films for a minute, you've done many, many films now. How many is that? What is the running total now?
Well, I've been in probably close to 40. And,
40 films. We like to clap around here. 40 films, that's amazing.
some better than others.
Some better than others.
And I guess I've, you know, had leads in maybe, I guess, 25 or so.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And I've written 7.
Really? What was your favourite film to make out of all those 40 films? What's the one you most enjoyed getting up and going to the set?
Well, I like driving Miss Daisy. I loved getting up and going to the set on that. But I would have to say Blues Brothers won.
Blues Brothers won.
We owned the city of Chicago. We had the full resources of the city and county. And there was nothing we could do wrong. We had a beautiful club to hang out at night. And just making the movie, we knew we were doing something special and fun, you know. And we were young. I was 27 then, you know.
Yeah.
And to be able to be sponsored in your vision when you're young is a great thing.
So how did you get the backing for the Blues Brothers film? Was it because of the success on television?
Yeah, the record mainly, the 3.5 million record sales, and just the success of Saturday Night Live, and there were just people in Hollywood who liked the concept and saw that it could be a movie that could be made, and of course, you know, the script helped. You know, we wrote the script and they liked the script. So in both cases, they liked the script. Yeah.
So which film are you most proud of, though? You know.
Well, I got to say, you know, I say Blues Brothers won, Ghostbusters, maybe Trading Places, and Driving Miss Daisy, and I liked the My Girl movies too. They were nice. They were sweet
Yeah.
films, and they were honest films.
Yeah.
And I like playing the part of the sympathetic father.
Yeah.
Because when you play a sympathetic father, then you can go off and play like a bad villain, like I did in Grosse Point Blank, or you know, Feeling Minnesota, where you get to kind of rough people up and shoot guns and stuff.
Do you prefer roughing people up to being the nice guy?
I like doing dramatic work. I think that it's more, it's easier than comedy. Comedy's very hard. So, but I like doing both, as long as I can variate it and do one, you know, one time and one another. If I can be a bad guy in one movie and a good guy in the next, then.
On the whole, you've done more good than bad, though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And the good ones have been more successful. Were they worried about casting you in Grosse Point Blank because of your nice guy image? That
Not at all. He called me up and he said, "We want you." You know, Cusack called me up.
Yeah.
You know, we want you. We know you can do this, and you're the one we always thought of when we wrote this part and all that. So it was great.
So we were all talking earlier, me and Tim included, about, you know, what our favourite Dan Akroyd films are, because there's just been so many. And personally, my favourite has to be Trading Places. But Tim and the crew, they seem to think...
It's Ghostbusters!
Now, Ghostbusters, we all grew up with Ghostbusters. I must have watched that 3 times a day,
I know,
every
because
day.
Your parents made you watch it, yeah.
They were worried about it being too scary for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They thought Slimer was a bit much.
Oh, it's a great babysitting tape.
Yeah. I was put under that, in front of that.
Well, Landis directed
years.
Trading Places, of course, and
Yeah.
we did Blues Brothers 1 and 2 together, as well as I was in Into the Night and Twilight Zone with him, and
Great
Yeah.
films. Now, but going back to Ghostbusters for a minute slightly, we're all very passionate about the franchise of Ghostbusters, and there are rumours going around at the moment that you have written a 3rd and a 4th Ghostbuster film where New York City falls into hell. Tell me more. Is this true?
I've got a treatment that's based on
You have a
that,
treatment?
yeah, but we haven't written the script yet, and we've got to write the script because the company wants it. I think the world wants to see it.
Yes,
So-
the world wants to see that film. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Please, could you tell us a little about what would happen in Ghostbusters 3 and 4?
Well, basically it starts with Harold and I in New York, and the Ghostbusters fire hall is now an old converted bus garage with Ecto-1s coming and going, and it's noisy and dirty and not a great place to work, and you know, there's stink and vapors and sulfur and, you know, leaking storage facilities, and I'm upstairs worrying about, you know, where the next dollar's coming from and collecting and all of this, and we basically have 3 new Ghostbusters that we handed the next generation to. One is like a disaffected, real lazy punk rocker with purple hair and a pierced eyebrow. Another is a gung-ho ex-Marine girl who's like, you know, really into it. And then a kind of a black funk rapper who just is doing it because it's a job.
Wicked,
And so they're the 3 new Ghostbusters.
So
and
you and Harold would be the only ones who would
yeah,
stay on.
Billy Murray is, you know, on to other things, and so
Yeah.
we've got to respect that. But
a
we'll
shame,
definitely, I know, but
Fight on.
we'll figure out, you know, how to pull it off there.
Good stuff. Now, ghosts or something. Are you particularly interested in ghosts?
I am interested in all things supernatural.
Really?
Sure. I think that it's a part of, you know, not only our folklore,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, ghosts, UFOs, demons, possessions, fairies, pixies, leprechauns. These are all, it's all part of folklore. It's all part of our culture. Whether they exist or not is another question, but it interests me because it's part of our consciousness. Now, if you go a little deeper, we find that there's groups that research this, and certainly living in England, you know that, you know, I mean, every 5th house is haunted or has some kind of a presence or some kind of a report of a presence.
So, you know, every 5th house is haunted. Have you been around and actually had any experience that you could relay to us and the people at home about you and your ghostly encounters?
Well, I haven't had any experiences here in England, but we live in an old house in California. It was first built in the late 40s, and the maid and her sister talked a couple of years ago about feeling somebody put like a hand on their shoulder or feel breath across their neck or something like that. So we took these stories in stride.
You.
It wasn't me, no. We sat there one night at the kitchen table, and we were sitting there. Actually, one afternoon it was, and all of us were downstairs in the kitchen, and we began to hear the Stairmaster exercise machine going.
Really?
And we know there was no one up in the gym, so we ran upstairs, and it was, you know, and that's a very distinctive sound.
Yeah.
We ran upstairs and saw the right pedal of the Stairmaster coming up after, you know, someone had depressed it, and there was no one in the room. So that's a pretty vivid experience.
Scary,
So I always think that it's probably Mama Cass trying to lose pounds in the afterworld.
Yeah, definitely. But staying on ghosts for a minute, you've had a couple of close friends
Pass
Yeah,
on.
pass
Yes,
on.
many.
John Belushi and Chris Farley.
Yeah, River Phoenix.
River Phoenix, friend of yours as well.
He was a very good friend of mine, yeah.
All to do with drugs.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah. Have
So
you
ghosts drugs produce ghosts.
have you encountered any ghosts of any of those people, or any ghosts that you believe, any presences, any messages, like making this new film or anything?
I have dreams about Belushi sometimes, but I think they're just, subconscious dreams that are natural. But
Yeah.
Al Franken, one of the writers on Saturday Night Live, about a month after John died, stayed in the room at the Chateau Marmont where he died,
Really?
and apparently Belushi appeared to him, scared the hell out of him, and he ran out of there.
Really?
Yeah. He wrote a book called Rush Limbaugh, something, in the States, and he's a very famous writer in the States. And
Did you see that film?
he's also a skeptic, too, so I believe him.
Yeah. Did
Yeah.
you see that film where John Belushi appeared as a ghost, and that story about his life story? What was it called?
Wired.
Wired.
No, I never saw it because
Never saw Wired?
No, I didn't like the writer who wrote it, and I thought the movie was exploiting John's image, and I didn't get behind it at all. In fact, it wasn't a very well-made film, and I thought that it was just best to leave John and his legacy alone. So it would be pretty abnormal for me to get behind something like that. I mean, he was my best friend, and no matter even if Steven Spielberg did a movie about John Belushi, I couldn't get behind it. I'd have to set myself apart from it.
But you're not just curious to see what they've...
Well, I heard it was really quite badly done, and it's I can't support something like that. It just wouldn't be right, I knew the man for 8 years, and we had a great experience together, and for myself personally, I just leave it at that. Yeah.
Well, moving on to a slightly more cheery subject, I'd just like to say thank you from all the crew of YCTV who were in Chicago a couple of weeks ago.
Tell me about that now. Let me ask you, what'd you do? You went to the club?
We went to the House of Blues.
Yeah.
Went to the House of Blues, and we got kitted up in all sorts of 70s gear and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Good friend of mine, James, in the control room, got his afro out, which is very,
like
very
a 70s
unusual.
music thing
Yeah,
that
it was
night?
Casey and the
Oh,
Sunshine
they're
Band on that night.
fantastic.
Very enjoyable.
They're really great.
Yeah, it's an
and
amazing...
Did you go up in the boxes
yes,
and all
the
around?
foundation rooms.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Good.
Now, which one of those? Do you have one of those that's yours?
What do you mean? Well,
One of
I'm
the foundation rooms.
well,
That's personally yours.
No, the foundation room is a part of House of Blues Entertainment, and I'm a director of the company and one of the investors in the company, and one of the 3 founders of the company. And so we have 6 clubs around the States now, and we're just working to try to make money with them. They're very expensive to run. I mean, we've got a beautiful revenue. We're making lots of cash flow, but then that cash flows out. Cash flows in, and it flows out.
Yeah.
So we have like liquor costs, labor costs, taxes, insurance, costs for bands, maintenance. It's hard work to make a restaurant company pay, but it's worth it.
I got the feeling when I was there, and the others agreed with me, that it was much more than just a novelty restaurant. I went along expecting to see Planet Hollywood with, John Belushi's hat or whatever anywhere, but it was much more of a spiritual place.
Well, that's good that you observe that. It is. We are, we're obviously into music, and we recognize sort of the unity of mankind, and that there's unity in the diversity of humankind, and we encourage racial harmony, and we are there on a mission to present music of young bands, of old bands, give musicians a good place to play, a good place to rest after their set, a good place to hear music. And whereas Planet Hollywood, you go in and you see the collection and you have a burger, well, that's it. At House of Blues, you're always going to come back for the food, for the decor, for the music, for the feeling, and we think we have, of all of the companies, Hard Rock, Planet Hollywood, we think House of Blues is probably the one that's got the greatest shot at longevity.
Is it coming to England?
Oh, definitely. We're just going to get our... It's going to get our act together in the States there, and get profits up, and get the head office straightened out, and then we're going to come here definitely. It's definitely on the books. We've always planned to do so.
Good stuff. Those Elwood burgers, very tasty. Round of applause for the Elwood burgers.
Is there any rivalry between you and, the House of Blues and Planet Hollywood?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have to go down there tonight to Planet Hollywood for a function associated with the release of Blues Brothers 2000 here in United Kingdom, and it's like the president of Pepsi-Cola walking into a Coca-Cola plant. It's like, I feel kind of, but I'll do it for the movie. But no, there's definitely a rivalry, absolutely, sure. You know, I think
Have you ever met Arnold and said, hey, my restaurant's better than yours?
Yeah, I
You're
actually...
peddling cheap strudel.
I had,
Schwarzenegger.
I had lunch with him next to him, actually, in a restaurant in L.A., but we didn't discuss our mutual restaurant.
Schwarzenegger, you don't touch us. Yeah.
I think we got the better company, the better product.
Yeah. Well, you would though, but yeah, definitely, I
Sure,
agree.
I believe it.
I agree.
We have 40 top movies under your belt. Do you ever get any? Do you get the blues at all? Do you feel sad? You know.
Oh, sure, of course. I mean, you know, every day we see circumstances in the world and our personal life that get us down, but. You know, you just got to go on. You can't give up, and also have a little faith. You know, the Lord does work in mysterious ways to give us new directions in life. And I think you know, you've got to have initiative. You have to drive yourself forward, but also you can also put a little trust and faith out in the fates and destiny out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that'll get us through.
What is the funniest thing a fan has ever done to get your attention?
Well, I was walking down the Sunset Strip the other night in Los Angeles, and a car full of college graduate girls, about 21 years old, went by. You know,
I'm
full
not sure
limo.
if this is a story for kids' TV.
And I saw a moon come out of that window.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
the,
no.
the window came down, and a nice little California moon came right out.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I've had to put up with.
Elwood, look!
Don't look back.
So you've moved away from movies now, and you're going to TV. You've gone to TV. You're not moved away from movies permanently, but you are doing a TV show at the moment.
Yeah, it's over, though. It's finished
It's
for
over.
the season, I think probably for good.
Really?
Yeah.
What was wrong with going back to TV?
Well, for me, I guess I've had a good life as a screenwriter, as an actor in movies, and I think that's what I'd like to do.
Yeah.
Television is good; it's a great medium, but you have to have the support of the head office, and we didn't have the support of the head office in the show we did in the States. The network was reluctant to keep it there. They took us off the air for 5 weeks. They.
Really?
If you don't have the support of the people who are sponsoring the show, then there's no point in doing it, you know, because, you know. But I like the life of a motion picture actor better, because I can come in for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month on a project and move on to something new.
Not tied to television.
Right. But that's not to say that there are great things that can be done with television, and that great things can be written and great scripts done.
Yeah.
And it's a good life, you know. It's a good life for someone who's starting out in the business.
So the first season that's already been made,
Yeah.
will that be coming to England at all?
It might. It's like, you know, because they're good shows, you know, they're definitely good shows. And like Faulty Towers, I think they only did, like, I don't know, only a few of them.
Yeah.
But it's better that it just stopped and didn't go on, so that in the third year they're worse than the, you know, than they could possibly imagine. I'm glad that my show is going to be canceled, because the 22 that we did do are good, and they'll be remembered as classics and as good shows. Better to do that than in the fourth year to be doing mediocre material.
Definitely.
So where are you going on from here? We hear you're living on a bus. What's the bus going to have to think of that?
We're on our way across Spain and France on the two buses with my family, and we're going to Cannes to play with the band. The Blues Brothers band's playing at the film festival there, and then we're up to Paris and Amsterdam, then home to Canada for the summer, where I'm going to just.
How long is that going to take?
We're going to be on the road for another couple of weeks. Yeah.
What's it like living on a bus?
Spectacular. You'd go to sleep in one country and wake up in another one.
Probably not like living on a bus, though, is it? It's more like living. What is the bus you?
Well, it's not a bus with 50 seats. Let me put it that way. There's we have these catacomb-like bunks, and a kitchen with you know, a hot plate and microwave and TV, VCR, fridge. There's you know, a loo on board. So it's like a rock band would take on the road.
Right.
Yeah, it's fun, really fun.
So, Dan, we've enjoyed having you here a great deal, but
This has been great, you guys.
thank you. We're going to have to ask if we could have a moment with Elwood. Because Tim's very young here, and he hasn't really seen much of the blues in his life. We feel sorry for him, don't we, Elwood? We're going to need to maybe teach him a thing or two about the blues.
It's very easy. All you got to do is sing Let the Good Times Roll after I sing Let the Good Times Roll, all right?
Okay. People at home, you try this too.
All right.
Free karaoke for you.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I said, hey, everybody, let's have some fun. You only live once, and when you're dead, you're done. Let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll.
Oh, let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll.
I don't care if you're young or old. Everybody's got to let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll.
I said, hey, Mr. Landlord, don't play me cheap. I got 50 cents more than I'm gonna keep. Let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll.
I said, let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll.
I don't care if you're young or old. Everybody's just gotta let the good times roll. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dan Akroyd. Yes, let's go up here. Excuse me, Mr. Photographer, he's got to go. We've got a man on a mission here, a mission from God. Let's go.
Bye, see you later.
I'm coming with, we're coming with. Let's go.